Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on? So if you're over here, oh, I'm so sick of this thing. Do. Come on. Jeez. So I'm telling you guys, there's a link on my main channel, SL Davis Nutrition Health All Media, my first channel, my main channel. You'll see a link in the chat. Click on that chat and come over to this live. The reason you want to interact. Interacting means when you say something to me, if I'm paying attention, I want to be able to put your comment in the comment section. Like, hi, Margarita. There's a link. I will be on my second channel. Here is the link. It's in the title of that video. If you're in that video live, the title will say, I will be on my second channel. Here's the link. Then you are on the wrong live stream. Click on the link in the chat and come over to this live. I want to be able to interact with you. Hey, Sheba, Kit Kat, like that. I'm not going to be able to interact with you on the second channel. So I'll keep this up. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Peace and love. Yes, my baby's here. You got to make me some of that pudding. I be seeing that pudding that you make, that pudding cake with the raisins in it. Yum, yum. That's my girl. So, yes, always look at the titles of the videos. You can't say you didn't know because I even put yellow circles on the title of the live stream you shouldn't be on. There's a link in the chat of that live stream on my main channel. Click on the link and come to my second channel. I can't say that enough. So we're going to keep this up for a little while, and then we're going to get into it. So yesterday, I want to get into this first. Hi, everyone. I see you guys. I see you guys. I just want to keep up this link. I will be on my second channel. Here is the link. You will see that link in the title. If you're on the wrong video, it will say that on that you need to get over here. And also you need to be subscribed to this channel because common sense will tell you why have to go through all that. If you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on, with the option all, you're not going to miss none of these lives at all. You won't be on the wrong live. And even if you came over to cuss me out, say if this was somebody cussing me out, say this emoji was a cuss me out, at least I can at least know that you cuss me out. I don't know that you cuss me out if you're on the wrong live. So, let's make it make sense. So I'm going to keep this up and hopefully people read the title. You read it when I spell something wrong in the title. People be reading my titles and I might spell something wrong and they'll tell me, you spelled that wrong. Well, you read the title. Stop reading stuff. Read the title so that you know that you're on the wrong live stream. Come on, let's get it together now. Unless we drinking and on some stuff like Natureboy and Carbonation. So, anyways, I was on a video yesterday. True is a straight idiot. I'm sorry, that dude is in denial. I seen him on Neek at Night. Yep, you're on the correct live, baby. Michelle, you're on the correct live. I seen him on Neek at Night's live stream. Very humbling girl, because I would have cussed him out. Very ignorant. He's a very ignorant dude. And he tried to, which he did, derail the conversation. He didn't want to talk about Natureboy not getting out of jail. Why Natureboy ain't getting out of jail? Why did they deny Natureboy's bond? And this and that and the other. He wanted to talk about quantum physics and melanation, whatever, melanin or whatever. And she wasn't trying to talk about that. But she gave him his respect on her platform. So I'm trying to get in contact with her. I might not get in contact with her. She's a big YouTuber. If it's not like something from YouTube, that she has to take care on her channel. Sometimes people ignore people's emails because she doesn't know me. But I want to get permission. I really want to. I recorded the whole live, but I want to get her permission. She's not from this sector, to be able to live stream it and kick it with y'all, because this is a live stream commentary video. The Zoca, this whole video will be up after this live stream's over, because I know there's some people that don't like me talking while they're listening to the video. That I respect that. So I always premiere it afterwards, so you can just hear the video with me not talking. But we're gonna talk about Zoca now. Zoca is an ignorant fool. She acts just like Natureboy. I'm gonna let you listen to what she was saying in this video. She's very cocky. Number one, I've been peeped that Natureboy, I don't think he is attracted to her. I think that he likes the fact that Zoca is feisty. Zoca even admitted to liking pain. And she's into, fighting men and, getting into all that aggressive stuff. And Natureboy likes that kind of woman. Because he lives like that. And there's been a couple of times here to put Zoca in her place and put her in the corner. She likes living like that. And it's really sad. So I wanted to play this video. We're going to break it all the way down. But she is really mad at the community. Natureboy really got these people thinking that we got him locked up. He's not taking no accountability for why he's locked up. He's not thinking about how he was making each of these women slap each other, or he slapped one of the dudes, and he's in the bathtub showing his private parts and making them pull up their shirts and all this crazy stuff, inhumane stuff that he was doing that put him in jail. Then he forgets about what happened behind closed doors with him and 𝗪𝗫. He thinks it's us, the public, who has locked him up. And she thinks that we're crabs in a barrel. Zoca thinks we're crabs in a barrel. And that, this is why Natureboy's in jail. So I'm going to let you listen to a young lady who is very much so brainwashed and what she has to say. Because I really think, they're bad actors. But I really think that Zoca in her heart really feels like the reason why Natureboy is not free is because of the public. So I'm going to let you listen to what this crazy girl has to say. And I'm going to interject probably here and there, because a couple of things that she said to me was a kind of offensive. Make sure you like this video. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you do so, making sure that notification bell is on with the option all, so when I upload these videos, you are the first one to watch. This is getting scarier by the minute, especially the behavior of Zoca. There's definitely something going on with her. She's been through a lot over in Carbonation, whether she wants to see it for what it is or not. I honestly always felt that Natureboy had a closeness to her, as in she relates to him. She's very rebellious. As we all know, he has had to discipline her on numerous occasions, and she does not, speak quietly about that. She owns up to the repercussions of some of her actions when she was around Natureboy and got underneath his skin. But I think he likes that rebellious quality in her, that fight that she has in her, which to me is a front. She's a hurt young girl trying to find herself, and she's feeling love because she doesn't really know what love is. Because if you did know what love was, Zoca, you wouldn't be in this situation. You wouldn't be riding for this man, and you wouldn't think that you have to stay around and represent 𝗪𝗪 when at the end of the day, he's already said you guys are just content. It's going to remain that you guys is just content. He's using you for content now. He's trying to, because he's a sickly man, instead of thinking of his freedom, he's trying to still keep his name alive while he is locked up. Any means necessary, he's trying to let people know from a distance that he can't be stopped. And he's using you guys as the example of him not being stopped. And he's not going to be stopped. He's in jail, and he's continuously out here having you guys spew this message that is not accurate to the public, like misery wants company. I know I don't want my nephews and my son to listen to something like this, because it's not the truth. It's bits and pieces from here and there that he has put together, regurgitated, and put into your mind and brainwashed you. And I really feel like Zoca is really out of control with it. I think Natureboy kind of gassed her up a little bit, hyped her up, pumped her head up, and, alongside with the brainwash all together. And he has made her into a little devil. And I hate to use that word. It's a harsh word. But Zoca doesn't have any feelings right now. She's turning. Let me tell you something. Don't tell me what to do on my channel. See, that's how you can get yourself put out of here. Don't tell me what to do on my channel. Matter of fact, I'm going to remove you. One of my mods are in here. Please remove this person. Matter of fact, I got to get these mods in here. I'm not playing that. Matter of fact, I'm stopping what I'm doing to remove you. Because we're going to stop the disrespect in 2022. If you don't like to hear me talk my commentary before the live starts, I already said I'm going to do a premiere so you can hear the whole entire video without me talking. And if you didn't hear that, then that's not on me. But I'm going to remove you, because what you're not going to do is disrespect me inside of my live. Okay? And matter of fact, I got to get some of my mods in here. Fuzzy, here's a mod. Make sure you remove these disrespectful people. Let me see. Add as a mod. Where's Michelle at? Because I'm not playing these games with these people. I'm grown, honey. Don't tell me when to play my video. And see, then when I get rude, then I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Thank you, April. I'm trying to look for matter of fact, here, I'm gonna make you a mod, April. Here, I'm gonna add you as a mod. I need Michelle. I'm sorry, guys, that I had to stop this because of a clown wants to come in here and be disrespectful. Matter of fact, let me see if I can remove that person, because I can't even see it. Play the video. You better get your own YouTube channel, and then you tell the people what to play on their channel. Don't come on here. I'm grown, honey. I'm almost 50 years old. You ain't gonna be fitting to be talking to me any kind of way. Boy or girl, bye. Into a baby Natureboy. And that's sad, because she's young. Natureboy got a good 20 years on this girl. He's lived his life, and the decisions he made in his life was the decisions he made. But for him to think it's okay to do this to her life, it's really sad. It's going to take Zoca quite some time for her mind to really develop and to sit back with herself and say, is this all worth it? And also to look back at what she did prior and say, was that all worth it? But we're gonna continue to cover Zoca. I don't know if I'm gonna put this premiere up before my live today. I will be live streaming on both of my channels. However, I will be on my second channel. So if you want to interact with me, you have to be on the live on the second channel. Hope to see you there.
Peace to all the gods today on Chance and Opportunity.
Gonna rush me to listen to this crazy fool. You got a nerve. Gonna rush me to listen to this crazy fool that turned into, she's a girl Natureboy. You gonna rush me to listen to this crazy fool here. Girl, boy, bye.
I'm here just to proclaim.
Amen.
The only reason for my existence is to go against unrighteousness, impurity, illusions and lies and deceits. I want to tell y'all why I entered Three Gods' life.
Because you're crazy.
I came into his life. Let me remind you of the journey of three God. Eligio, the Christ, the Messiah. Let me remind you and run your heart back. Run your mind back. Because we all seen him from our devices and our own homes, off the internet, on a mountain, speaking this truth because he felt like it was his truth. He felt like he had to spread the good gospel and the good news. And so each one of us that's ever come to Carbonation, ever come to Melanation, ever come into three God's life, whatever nation it is his life that we're entering. We're asking to take a walk with him on the journey because we believe in the knowledge that he speaks. We believe in the truth. We believe that this system disconnects you from God itself, disconnects you from righteousness, disconnects you from being a true, pure human being. And we are stopping all of that. We are resistant to that. We are towards the healing of that. But the whole time he's been on his journey, living his life publicly, people have come into his life and judged the way he's lived. Because they could not get the discipline. They cannot be upright. They cannot be honest. They cannot have integrity. They cannot face their demons. And when I say demons, I mean your astrological program. We all are DNA. We all are God. I have been awoken from the Most High Three God, Eligio the Christ, the messenger, Messiah for all black people and all brown melanated people on this earth plane. I'm here to speak the truth and allow myself to have the Holy Spirit and speak what he has given to me. I go against what we have been programmed to and subjected to since we were born and portal into this earth plane. I do not agree with going to schools and having the education of white supremacy into my brain or into my children's brains or into any melanated people's brains because it allows you to not know anything but believe in the lies. It keeps you docile. They take away all your imagination. They feed you genetically modified foods. They give you a to worship and have church only one day of the week. You go to church only one day of the week. Good Christians go about 3 times a week. Pushing 3. Put some 3s in the building. Every day we are told these lies and illusions about ourselves. And we believe it. Because on a day-to-day basis, we like, okay, since we're a kid, we're not asking any questions. We're going along with it because we don't want fear of rejection. We don't want to be outcasted. We don't want to even get in trouble. Because a lot of times when you're a kid and you do something that's out of the lines of the status quo, they tell you get back in line. Hush, be quiet. You don't do that. Stay in the child's place. What are you doing? That's weird. That's odd. They go and take you to psychologists, to doctors, when it's all psychological. Spirituality is psychological. It's all the study of the mind and how it works. But we want to live a subjective life. We don't want to change ourselves on a day-to-day basis. We want to stay in our comforts. And the white man has figured out the patterns of black people. Just make them comfortable. Just make them feel good. And they'll listen to you. Once upon a time, black men and black women, you had a strong ego. A strong mental power. You cared about humans over money. You cared about the sciences over materialistic wealth. You cared about nature and making sure it's taken care of and the animals and the humans of this planet. But nowadays, we'll stab somebody in the back just because we don't get what we want for it to feed our ego, our false ego, because our true ego is us all being one, us all being love, us all being united and understanding that we are God's children, we are God's people, and we are here to heal the planet of all unrighteousness. We're here to live highly moral and upright. That is what heavenly is. Heaven is the mind of God. Heaven is constant communion with God. But we have gotten so far away from God, we cannot hear God speaking to us every day when he gets online on Bigo, on Instagram, on every single platform that you see he's on. Three God constantly is giving up himself to his people. But yes, they'll slander him. They'll hate him. They'll throw stones and lies on him. They'll take his own words as his own truth and flip it and reverse it and put some whole different story of their own projections onto him. And still he rises. Still he speaks. Still he completely is effortlessly, honestly him. Asking for nothing in return but for you to honor and cherish nature. Cherish God. You see, a lot of times when I went onto this path, I brought a lot of my demons, a lot of my traumas, a lot of my insecurities, a lot of my gifts, a lot of my talents, a lot of my hidden gifts and things and wonders that I did not know I could do and accomplish. All of my great deeds.
Even the plane don't want to hear her.
And all of the things that you've seen me go through on this journey, I own up to it. I wipe my mirror clean because that's the only reason why we're here. Our hearts are being weighed on a day-to-day basis by how we treat one another. How do you treat people on a day-to-day basis? Your heart is being weighed for that. Do you go online and say negative things all day? Do you slander and hate your own people? Do you not give a helping hand and be of service to the random human on the street? Or do you just take, and take? Just to feed yourself? Being prideful, having gluttony, being envious, having wrath. All of these things that we have is what builds this system. And you are being a battery for the system. You are constantly ignoring God. You are constantly going with your life day to day, serving money. You are constantly ignoring the truth that has come to awaken you, because this is hell. Hell is, of course, a mind state. That's why we're not on the same vibration and same frequency. Hell is a frequency. And a lot of the times on the day-to-day basis, you will see what your frequent thoughts are. Are your frequent thoughts heavenly? Are you having constant communion with God? Are you in the 5 sciences? Are you living your life in a subjective way or an objective way? Because God is just objectivity. You feel the objectivity. You feel the facts. You feel the God. You feel the holy word. You feel that, and that allows you to vibrate on a different frequency. You start changing yourself. Your cells start changing. Your body starts changing. You start healing. You start looking at life differently. You start having a different type of walk about yourself. You start having a different type of confidence because you're walking with God on a day-to-day basis. A lot of people give their energy to the devil just by giving their energy and their focus. Your soul is what you focus on. Your soul is your mind. So if you're constantly putting your mind on something that does not serve you, that does not make you elevate your mind in this, elevate this realm consciously, if you constantly are in a negative vibration, when you transition from this life, you will stay on that negative vibration. A lot of black people just want the drama. Y'all just want the drama. Y'all just want to know who's with who's in jail, who's fighting who got the new type of rings, new type of car, surface dwellers you are. So 3 guy got to go online and do spiritual improv to shake your DNA up. He got to trigger you. Because other than that, black people are stubborn. You got so comfortable. It's crazy how comfortable we got in the white man's land. Like we ain't been slaved before. You put yourself in slavery because you was tired of being gods and goddesses. You made yourself forget everything because of amnesia. What did you do last week? What did you do the week before that? This is a waking dream right here, right now. And still, we try to escape our dream by indulging in TV, indulging in the entertainments, indulging in drugs, indulging in alcohol, indulging in relationships, taking everything away from being with yourself, sitting with yourself, because people don't want to sit with themselves these days because they have to face. A lot of y'all are in hell mentally. Some of y'all are in purgatory, the ones that try to do spirituality on a day-to-day basis and think they're doing something. Don't know what they want to do with their life. They hear the knowledge, they feel the knowledge, but they don't move off of it because they're scared of what people think. When you take the narrow road and the road with the Christ, You were going to be stoned and hated just like the Christ. You was going to be judged and crucified just like the Christ. And a lot of time on my journey, when I was around three God, I would allow him to take my own demons and fight them. I was being weak, so it made me look like I was the victim online, but I'm not no victim. I'm doing exactly what I want to do in my life. You can't make me you, because there's something different in my DNA code. There's something different in my ACTs and Gs genome strand. You see, I'm trying to awaken that in you. You have melanin, and God's trying to speak to you on a day-to-day basis, but you're ignoring God, because in the system that you are, in the culture medium that you are, they block the codes God is sending to you on a day-to-day basis. You don't go outside with your shoes off, so you don't ground. You're not getting the electrical signals from the earth with your nodes, hands and your feet on the earth. You don't have clean, organic, earth-grown food from the earth because they give you grocery stores to go in because it's convenient. I go to the grocery store too because, hey, y'all got us out here again. Because every time, I'm going to revert back to that. God's trying to speak to you through the food. But it doesn't allow that because you go into the grocery stores, and the grocery store is just what? Box food. A little small section of organic food. He's shown you and discovered all this information and has lived his life publicly for you to see. For you to observe and be like, oh my gosh, he's went into the grocery stores and showing you on the back of the boxes what the labels are and how it's genetically modified, changing your DNA because epigenetics, it is altering your own DNA and you are playing out another mind that is not yours. Wake up. But nah, let's talk about the next drama. What you want to know? Nosy. What you want to escape from? We tried growing our own food. We tried just leaving y'all alone and telling us to come to us. But every time we in the tropics, what y'all want to do? Crabs in the bucket. Like hell, let me drag you down because I'm not happy. I have no company. So miserable people love company. So y'all brought the children of God back into the States, and here we are. We help. We give a helping hand. He gives of himself daily to people. You don't have to come into his life. You don't have to watch him, but still you do when you slander his name. You don't have to do the things you do. You do not have to come here and project your demons onto him. When he's a pure loving being that's constantly opening his door to strangers. Let me remind y'all, we are strangers. We did not grow up with three God. We did not grow up with Eligio. We all have different backgrounds. I'm from California, Long Beach, IE. I'm not from New York or Harlem. I've never met three God in my life. I came 2.5 years ago asking him, can I come into your life and be a student? And of course, when you enter in somebody's life, you're going to get all of them. But he accepts everybody organically as they are. He's like, well, okay, this is who you are. I'm going to accept your demons. I'm going to accept your shortcomings. Oh, you're rejected from the society? Why? Let me help you out. Oh, you have that type of issue? Let me guide you some assistance because that's why you came to me. You knew I was your guru. Black people, three God, Eligio, the Christ is your guru. He is the Christ. He's awakening you. But the self-hatred is all that you have, so I understand. You block out God and you're blocked from God. God is trying to speak to you in so many different ways. God is trying to speak to you through Eligio the Christ, the Messiah, the prophet. But every prophet that we get, what do? They throw him in jail. They throw the mind in jail and try to and capture the mind and taint it and not allow no one to hear it because you can have the rise of a black Messiah. Multiple times, I can tell you why this is hell, because multiple times we've had messiahs and prophets come to this plane. And every time, what do? Kill him. They tell him that he's not needed here. And he is thrown away in the gates, in the cages, and neglected there. So only way you can get the truth out is very quietly. But three God don't move like that. The Christ consciousness don't move like that. We the real Christians. God is trying to talk to you from the sun. But as you see on a day-to-day basis, they're spraying chemtrails in the sun to block you from God. To not have you awaken from your slumber and your sleepiness. You feeling tired? You going to work day to day? I don't have a job. My job is to proclaim. That's all our job is to do.
Girl's lost. She's trying to put a Cash App in. Trying to put a Cash App in.
I gotta put our Cash App up because this is how we get support, through donations.
She's bold with it.
I was right. Cool, baby.
I can't even believe she said that. I'm trying to put my Cash App in so we can get donations.
This summer is going to be very magical. Because they can't really stop the sun. You can't stop the rain. You can't stop the rain.
The FBI can.
You can't stop the sun. You can't stop the sun. And it's really no enemy. Alright? I might be preaching all of this. And you might think, oh my God, they're against the system. We're for the system. We're for Babylon. We're for the self-destruction of Babylon because it's going to fall itself. The pendulum is swinging from unrighteousness to righteousness. So the children of God and the people of God, it's time for you to awaken. And it's going to happen because time is God. God is time. It's going to just unfold into three God's hands because you cannot contain the man of man. It's predestined. You can't stop this. But so for you naysayers and demons that might think you're stopping this, please keep fanning the fire because you keep us hot. Just keep on leaning because we about to do the rock. Ain't no fear in us. We on the right side, baby. You better join. You better get on the movement. If you feel it in you, do not ignore that feeling because that feeling that you feel when the Holy Spirit and the shift in you is happening, don't ignore it. Because the environment that you're in is always suggesting to you to stay asleep and to stay docile. That's why you have to eat clean. It's very important to eat clean right now. It's very important to drink water that is pure. It's very important not to take that many long showers and hot showers. Because all of these chemicals is trying to disconnect you from God. The buildings, the squares, it holds your energy. It's not a conduit. It's not conducive for our energy. You need to have yourself connected to the earth. When you're in boxes, it constrains your energy. It does not allow the electricity to flow through your body harmoniously. When you're connected to the earth, you ground your cells. You stabilize your mind. You get rid of mucus. You get rid of stress. You're at a peaceful state. Get outside. Just get outside. Just get outside. Get outside. Get outside and move. Get outside and move. Get outside and move.
Thank you.
If you feel the urge, you say, you will feel your lungs starts to open and pump. You're doing breath work. Just keep supporting, keep loving. I really like Mama 𝗪𝗪's thing because y'all just sit there and watch. And I don't really say much.
Oh.
I don't. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful you allow me to be on this and to proclaim the truth.
And show
Get outside, ground. Stay in the knowledge. Go to 3 God TV and watch the downloads. And you will see that the Christ is here. You will see that everything is coming for us. Everything is coming to you. Everything is on the way. Everything is coming to you. is on the way. Everything is coming to you. Everything is on the way. Stay positive. Everything is coming to you. Everything is on the way.
Ooh, child.
You can't stop the children of God.
That's a bad hit right there. So anyways, listen, what I'm gonna do, I'm about to play the I'm just gonna play the video with True. Last night I recorded like 2 hours of it. I'm gonna play about an hour of it, and y'all are gonna be on the floor. And respectfully, I'll delete it out the live when I get finished with the live, because I just, I'm not going to keep that in my live, but I'm going to play that now for you guys. Give me 1 second. But yeah, that girl didn't lost her mind. She's got issues, man. She's got a lot of issues. And her own cousin said that she's very manipulative. She's always been like that. So it's no surprise that she's still over there.
After this intro so that we can get some people on in here. I'm gonna start this intro and then we're gonna go. Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek.
I finished playing with toys.
Ooh, let me just start from the beginning.
So that after this intro so that we can get some people on.
Let me just play it from the beginning, because I be messing stuff up when I stop trying to zoom in to certain areas. Just let her do a little intro and then it'll go into the video.
After this intro so that we can get some people on in here. I'm gonna start this intro and then we're gonna go. Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. If this is your first time here, over here we are the Night Owls. If you have not hit that subscribe button, I want you to go ahead and do that right now. This is a channel where I talk about celebrity news and gossip and give my opinion on trending stories. But just know, keep in mind that over here, this is an acquired taste. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for everybody. So, proceed with caution. But, still hit that subscribe button. Anyways. All right. So now that we got that out the way, we're going to get on into this gig. Now,
also, please make sure you go subscribe to Neek at Night channel. I will put the link inside of the description. The video might not be up by the time people see the after live, because I'm going to delete it out. But I'm going to play it now. But yeah, make sure you go subscribe to her channel and support her, because I'm playing her video and that's only right.
Oh, you are from, you said the kingdom?
You can just go by Carbonation. The kingdom of God.
The Lion Kingdom
is the mind of God, and that's the mind that we have. That's the mind that the Most High Chief Three God has given us.
Okay. All right. So before we get started into information about Carbonation, because a lot of people want to know about things that have gone on Carbonation, how you joined, all these things like that. So before we go into a lot of the things that people want to know that they've seen play out on videos, I'm going to first start with your early beginnings. So I'm going to play a video for you, a quick video clip, and then I want you to explain to us or elaborate on what you see. All right? Okay.
He's gonna sound like a clown. Watch.
The last part, but my Saturn is in Capricorn, and I was introduced to order and structure at an early age. My Babylon mother had me I always had to make up my bed. When I finished playing video games, I had to wrap the cords back up. When I finished playing with toys, I had to put them back in the box. Everything was very methodical. And then on top of that, my Babylonian father was in the military. So military was me as soon as I logged in. So it's easy for me to understand why order and structure is important. You know how you go over somebody's house they just got stuff everywhere. Microwave got old food in it. That didn't fly in my home. Everything had to be precise and lined up and dressed up. So it was natural that I ended up in the military anyway. And it all stemmed from when my Babylonian mother passed. My Babylonian mother transitioned in, I can't remember, I think it was 2004. I was 15 at the time. And that experience, how I perceived that experience was, this was the universe trying, with peace reflection, this was the universe trying to tell me that having an emotional attachment to people is not the best idea. It's something that it's wrong to be attached to people. So rather than experience...
Do you see how much healthier he looked in his face at the beginning of Carbonation? Look at how he looks now. Look at True how he looks now, and look at True how he looks. I mean, look at how he looked right there, and look at how he looks now. He looks like he is deteriorating from the inside out.
That again, that perception of losing someone, I said that I will never get that close to another person again. Y'all look good.
You look better than
explain to us your early beginnings when you were in Babylon with your Babylon mother. As you've seen in the clip, you stated how your mother passed in, what did you say, 2007?
Nah, I graduated in 2007. It had to be like 2004, 2005, around in there. 2004, I think.
Okay. So in the two clips that I showed, you talked about how when you were at home with your mom, that there was a lot of structure with your mom and your father. And you also talked about how she later transitioned. So give us a little bit of background about your early beginnings.
Okay, so I'm from Butler, Georgia, which is like a small town right outside of, most people don't know about it, but it's Macon. You ever heard of Macon? You probably never heard of Macon, but if you're from Georgia, you would know. It's right outside of Macon, Georgia, Fort Valley, Warner Robins, Thomaston. In addition to being like really ordered and structured, my Babylon mother pushed academics above anything else. So I had to have like straight A's, nothing less than a 90. I was always like encouraged to go to college and be a doctor and all those type of things like that. My father was in the military as well. So him and my mother ended up getting a divorce before I was 5. And she ended up leaving my father. What was that?
That was my computer.
Oh, she ended up leaving my father when they was in Germany. She came back and brought me back to the States while he was still over there. And were
you born in Germany?
No, I was born in Warner Robins. Warner Robins is in Georgia. Warner Robins.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had I guess you could say, a normal childhood. Played on a basketball team, did well in school, didn't get in no trouble with the law or nothing like that. Didn't see my father that much because he was, like I said, he was in the military, so he was always out of the country, out of the state or something like that. And my mother remarried my stepfather when I was like 8 years old, and he was a pretty good guy. He showed me how to like cut grass and fix stuff and how to drive and all that stuff like that. But it was just typical childhood, nothing crazy, no childhood abuse or nothing like that.
Okay. So there was no childhood abuse or anything like that. And then your mother transitioned. Can you talk about that with us?
Yeah, so one day,
we was at church. This was like, I know it was around Christmas time, probably like maybe a week or two before Christmas or whatnot. And she used to sit in the front, and she would sit in the front with, you know, the women her age. She was like 40 something, and I'd sit in the back with the teenagers or whatnot, because I was like 15 at the time. And I looked up in the church, and then I seen like some people fanning her, and I'm like, what's going on? She must got the Holy Ghost or whatever. But they kept fanning her, and then they ended up calling the ambulance or whatnot. And so the ambulance ended up taking her out. And when I was in the car, she was like making this gargling noise. She was like, I'm like, what the is that? Like, she couldn't talk. Like, she couldn't say words no more. And I'm in the back seat as me and my stepfather, like, we're driving her to into town because the ambulance didn't come out there. So we brought her to the ambulance. And I'm like, what in the world is that? And so they end up taking her out of the car, putting her in the ambulance, and then rushing her to the hospital. And then, yeah, she never said anything. I never heard anything else from her since then, since that point. That night before, and in church was the last time I heard her talk. And ended up finding out she had a brain aneurysm. And that was the cause of death. And yeah.
Okay. So in the video that I showed you, you said that at that point of your mom transitioning, that made you no longer want to be attached to anything. Is that still how you feel today?
No. Now I understand that I am everything, and that the people I deal with in my reality are actually different versions of myself, and that what I'm experiencing is a projection of my own mind. So the notion of being attached to somebody now wouldn't make any sense, because I know that people are just extensions of my own mind. And what people are here for in your life is for you to learn something through. And so it's not the person that you're supposed to be attached to. You're supposed to learn a lesson, and then when that lesson is learned, you no longer need that person. And the idea of somebody dying and the idea of somebody transitioning, because I understand the nature of reality and how this reality is actually a holographic projection of my mind, there's no need to cry. It would be like crying for somebody that I met in my dream. Mm-hmm. The people in my reality, they're figments of my imagination. They're not real. They don't exist outside of my observation. So the only way that people can be sad when they lose somebody is when they don't understand the nature of reality and how it works.
Okay. I want to ask you more questions and go deeper into that. But remember when I was telling you I heard a static in the chat, they're also saying that they hear the static as well. So I think it might be, I don't know, something, I don't know if you have to go out and come back in, or there's a static though.
Okay, I'll leave and come back in.
Okay. All right. So we are going to hear more in a second. But yeah, that there's like a static. So I want to see what that is about. Hopefully he comes back soon. Those of you guys who didn't see the video that we're referring to,
functionality of your eyeballs and the relationship between your eyes and your brain. Do you know that?
I know that something is connected to the something. I don't know the
so you
correct
don't know.
terms.
So you don't know.
I know enough, but go ahead. You can elaborate.
Okay, so you don't know. When it comes to your eyeballs and the relationship between your eyeballs and your brain, your eyes are connected to your brain by what is known as the optical nerve. Your eyes take in light photons, but these light photons never come in contact with your brain, because your eyes convert these light photons into electrical signals that then go forward and produce an electrical copy in your brain. So what you're seeing as vision is actually an electrical copy that your eyes form, that your brain forms.
True. This girl don't care about none of this stuff you're trying to talk about. They want to know, she wants to know why Nature Boy didn't get bond. She wants to know why Nature Boy's in there. Are these alleged, or is it true what Nature Boy did to go to jail? We don't want to hear about quantum physics and all this stuff that Nature Boy taught you. Trying to beat around the bush.
You understand that?
No, I still don't. I won't tell a lie.
Okay. So what I'm saying to you is that if you were to disconnect the optical nerve, the nerve between your eyeball and your brain, you couldn't see no more. You understand?
Correct.
Right? So if you disconnect the nerve between your ears and your brain, you couldn't hear no more. Same thing with your tongue, your nose, and your spinal cord. What I'm saying to you is that the reality.
PTSD?
No.
Planes hanging out, all of these things. This is just basic cycle of drill after drill after drill after drill, and all of it was geared towards a war state mentality. Everything was designed to get us focused, get us paying attention to detail, get us in the constant state of being flexible, because at any moment you could pack up, boom, bam, you gotta go. You gotta go overseas, you gotta go to a new state.
All right, and there's one more video.
So if you're not familiar with the military, they take us through basic training, which is a series of simulated warfare events that condition your mind to be desensitized so that you can go out and do the things that the military is doing to people throughout the earth plane. So I was subjected to images of people getting their legs blown off, getting the back of their head blown off. Peace, reflection, see clear. I like that. That's dope. People getting their head blowed off. Medics coming to try to patch somebody up. People's brains hanging out. All of these things. This is just basic training. They're conditioning the minds, and then they try to get their children. 18 is not an adult.
All right. So after that, you talked about how the military tries to recruit people at the age of 18, that they're not an adult. So I want you to elaborate on that. And I would like to know, in Babylon, we would call it PTSD. Are you familiar with that term?
Yeah.
Do you think that you suffered any forms of PTSD?
No.
Do you feel like you were negatively affected by any way in being in the military? And before you answer, I just want to say, are you familiar with the term code switching?
That is my.
I'm starting to fall asleep on this first 50 minutes of the video, the interview. So I'm putting on the second part of it, because I'm not staying listening to that. So I don't want y'all to be like, what is she doing? So we're gonna listen to this part. This is when he starts getting stupid.
My son. That's my son, and then I'm feeling like, let's take a picture. Let's take a picture.
Okay. So in the picture, you look happy. Your son looks happy. Would that be an accurate representation of what this picture is?
Of course.
Okay. Lately, the smile that I see on that picture, I haven't really seen that smile in a while. I see it right now as you look at the picture, but this is the first time I've personally seen you smile.
How long have you
Yeah, because Nature Boy's gone. That's why he's smiling.
known me?
I mean, just I'm saying recently. I haven't
long you know?
in a while.
You make it seem like we've been knowing each other for an extended period of time.
I'm saying the amount of time that you have been on the internet, it has been about, I want to say, a year. I don't know. I haven't seen you smile. Just from the videos that I've seen, I don't see them all. Just like I said, I didn't see all 1,600 of them. So, next question: what does your son call you?
Captain True.
Captain True. is the term dad, is that a Babylonian term, or why doesn't he call you a dad or father?
That's what he hear everybody else call me.
Captain True. What will he continue to call you as he gets older?
These questions are so irrelevant. Like the interview is like, it's not even tapping in onto anything that we're actually about. It's like it's so shallow. Like you don't feel that? Like you don't feel like these questions are so shallow. Like especially at the magnitude of who we are and what we know. As far as like you didn't tap into, you know, anything that we teach, like any astrology, anything about the GMO food from the supermarket. Why do we eat the certain way that we eat? You know, what about melanin? What about how do we feel about hair? These are so shallow. Like
I don't feel like it's shallow because
True, we don't care. We know what you eat. We don't care what you're tapping into. She really wants to ask you the questions. She only got you on the interview because she wants to know why Natureboy's in jail. She wants to hear from the horse's mouth, the person who's the closest to him. We don't care about the knowledge, bro.
I mean, of course you didn't, because I could tell how hard it was for you to process the holographic universe when I was talking about the relationship between the eyes and the brain. So it's like we're trying to pull the interview back down to a level that your audience and you can comprehend. I thought this was more about expanding our awareness into things that really matter, because if I answer these questions once we leave this interview, it's not going to do anything to make you better as a person.
Well, the interview and the purpose, like I told you when I wrote you, I said that we would like to know more about you. And when I wrote,
but do you know what I'm about though? Like the questions that you want to know more about
background.
But listen, you want to know about some of the most superficial, irrelevant things. Like it's like you don't want to know about me as far as like my mind and what my teacher has taught me and what we stand for and the knowledge that we hold.
I want to know about you first. I want to know about True.
No, what I'm telling you is that what I stand for and the mentality that I have is me. That's what I'm saying. Like I am an astrologer. I am a biologist. I am a psychologist. I am a scientist. That is what I am. And these questions.
What would you like us to know?
So first of all, I would like people to know that you don't want to get so caught up in the affairs of other people that you forget about your own life. And you want to ask questions. You want to be somebody that's inquisitive, to ask questions that once you receive the answer, it's going to actually make you a better person. The questions you're asking me, they're actually a waste of time because it's not doing anything for the betterment of humanity. If you want to know who I am, that is who I am. That is why I wait.
From the people who want to donate to you, right? Because we talked about how there was this law of attraction, right? And what I learned on the internet is me being a public figure and a YouTuber, that people connect to people by knowing them, you know? So I just wanted the people to know a little bit more about you, things that they didn't know before. And a part of the attraction of what makes people attract themselves to you and get in tune with you is knowing background about you. And then I was going to, after we got to know you, go into the things that 𝗪𝗪𝗪 has taught you. But the first part of it, I wanted to know about you and the things that are an extension of you.
No, but it's so irrelevant. Like it's like when you look at it from the grand scheme of things, when you look at life as something that is eventually going to come to an end, like you know, every breath you take is taking you closer to your last one. Like you're gonna die. So you have to understand that you want to maximize your time and extract what you really need at every moment. Don't waste anything. You don't need to know me to that degree. That is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, so I have a science question or a question that you can elaborate on.
Yes.
So when I've been watching the videos, right, I seen that there was reference that in order to get the divine knowledge from Natureboy or 𝗪𝗪𝗪, that the women get downloads from drinking his cum. How do the men get the downloads? And can you elaborate on that part of in the science of it?
Yeah, so as far as sperm is concerned, we as a people, Black people, especially African American people, We are so immature when it comes to sexuality. When you look at sperm, it contains information. It is the spark of life. That's all it is. It's just information. So whenever a man ejaculates into a woman, or when a woman swallows a man's cum, she's actually swallowing his information, his genetics, or his mind. As far as it relates to the men, we don't do that. We don't need to do that because we're intellectual. We can process the knowledge simply by hearing Chief talk. And that's how we've always done it. And of course, people will want it to be something else because it fuels their narrative to promote a more negative light on what we're doing.
Okay. I remember a video, and it was a video of Pisces and Sunny. And in the video, he was talking about how he, I guess, previously had an attraction to, or yeah, he was
Do you know how old that? Like, are we going?
No, but I'm saying in the back.
Do you want to know about melanin? Do you want to know about melanin at all?
No, but listen, I want to understand how you guys get the knowledge. So in the video of that video, if you remember the video I'm talking about, it was him and his baby moms. In the background of the video, I heard Malia, and she said when he talked about how he had previously been with men and he eventually wanted to be with a man, in the background, Malia said, "No wonder he's so comfortable drinking your sperm." And she was talking to Natureboy. So was that only for him, or was that something you guys never had?
Ain't nobody never did that. Nobody's never did that. Nobody's drinking, none of the guys is drinking nobody's cum.
No.
Like, it's funny. Why do you, like, it's funny because that's on the forefront of people's minds.
Well, that's what we thought. Like, I thought, like,
no. I'm just trying to show. I'm just trying to show people where their mind is at. Like, regardless of what somebody's doing, right? This is the main point I'm trying to get at. Regardless of what somebody's doing, why would you zoom in on that with your life? As many other relevant and important things that are going on.
Because we want to know the science.
No, listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying to you. You can't speak for everybody. People don't care about science. They want to continue to promote a negative narrative and make us seem like we're a bunch of people that don't have no knowledge and information, like we're just a bunch of crazy black people in a cult, when that's not who we are. I'm trying to get you to understand that life is about you and your self-growth and development, and focusing on other people's affairs, regardless if they're public or regardless if they put it on the internet. It's not going to do nothing to improve you. Like, look at what you're focused on.
I understand what you're saying, but you said that you wanted to talk about science, right? So I was bringing it to science. Scientifically, 3 God has taught that the women receive the knowledge by getting the cum. So you told me that the men don't have to do that because you guys are more smarter, you're more intellectual. So you explained something that we didn't know. I was not really.
No, but what I'm saying to you is that it was tied to some type of rumor or gossip. It wasn't pure knowledge. It wasn't a seeking of pure knowledge. It was something tied into and something about gossip.
Well, that's what was taught. 3.
You see how True got real serious? He know he lying.
God said on the video that that's how the girls collect the data.
No, I'm talking about you brought in a situation with Pice. Like, that is so irrelevant in the grand video. Listen to what I'm saying. Okay, but there's a lot of things that's on video on the internet that don't deserve your attention. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that we have a catalog, a full catalog of knowledge and information that nobody's paying attention to. They're bypassing it to focus on irrelevant things because black people, African Americans, do not care about science. They don't care about psychology. They care about gossip and rumors. And unfortunately, we have to implement those strategies to get people to pay attention to what we're doing and then slip the knowledge in the process. Because if we were to just teach, people would not pay us no attention at all. Okay. Because they don't even pay our page any attention. We have a page on YouTube that they don't pay attention to.
All right. So what my goal is to learn your principles. I don't want you to feel judged or like I'm just trying to be salacious. I genuinely want to know the inner workings and how things work and understand them from my point of view. a part of the lectures that you speak of that I was going through on that channel was about homosexuality. And that is a big part that people want to learn to know from you, your perspective on your principles and why that is a lecture that is taught, and help us understand and elaborate on what you think about it.
Now that's good. That was an actual good question. So this is what 𝗪𝗪𝗪 teaches us about homosexuality, right? Homosexuality is actually an extreme. It's a response to the suppression of bisexual energy that is natural in animals as well as people. So because America at one time made it a no-no to be gay, or not gay, but bisexual, people are now expressing that suppressed energy to the extreme. Now people are they're saying that they fully want to be with men, a man fully wanting to be with men and men only, or a woman feeling like she only wants to be with a woman. But this is an imbalance. The reason that bisexual energy even manifests in this realm or in people is to bring balance to an imbalance between men and women. So a gay or a bisexual male would be introduced through the genetics of a woman as a response to women possibly being mistreated by men. So the bisexual man has the ability to see the world from not only a male's perspective, but also a female's perspective, to bring balance to that potential mistreatment. The same with a bisexual woman, who's able to see reality from not only a woman's perspective, but a man's perspective, to bring more balance between men and women. That is what bisexual energy is.
They've been trying to push that in agenda for a while. And it's so sad that he really is listening to these teachings that Natureboy is telling him that is supposed to be believed to be the truth. And he's running with it like it is the truth.
Is for. Now, when it comes to being gay or homosexual, that is not in alignment with divinity or balance, because a man can't be with just a man, because he clearly has an anatomy that requires him to reproduce. He still has sperm, and that sperm is for reproduction. It's to be utilized. And even a lesbian woman still has eggs. She still has a womb, and that genetic purpose and that biological function still needs to be honored.
Okay. So being that you said that it's not in divinity to be gay, but you guys are taught about bisexuality, would that be accurate to your sexuality? Are you bisexual?
No.
What would you classify yourself as?
Hetero.
Have you ever been with,
you see where this is going? Like,
I'm just asking questions that the people.
I'm just saying, but what I'm saying is that you didn't even grasp what I said.
Did. You said,
what did I say? What did I say?
You said that in order for a man to understand a woman, he has to have both bisexual. You use bisexual, male, masculine and feminine, right? And he's able to connect with the woman and understand her, and she's able to connect because she has both as well. Ain't that what you said? Masculine and feminine.
Not listening to what I'm saying.
See, that's why I talked to you about code switching. Because
I know what I said, I didn't even use big words. I'm a very skilled communicator. I know what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. It's you're not listening. I'm looking at your body language. You're not listening to understand. You're listening to respond, or you're listening to wait till your turn to talk. I'm not stupid. I deal with people a lot. This is classic psychology, what you're doing. You're already thinking about the next question.
Well, that's how I have to conduct the interview. I have to get the question.
No, but what I'm saying is it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to talk to somebody that's not listening to you.
No, I'm listening to you, and I'm also preparing myself to ask the next questions.
But you can't listen to somebody with information stored in your mind at the time. You have to be absolutely empty to listen to somebody.
Well, being an interviewer, I have to be both.
What I'm saying is you can't do that. Like I'm just trying to tell you how communication.
True is trying to take excuse me. True is trying to take over her interview, and that's dead wrong.
Worse, because I'm a very effective communicator, because I'm also a very effective listener. And you don't have that ability to listen and hold on to other thoughts at the same time. Your mind has to be absolutely clear for you to be able to embody what I'm saying to you. Because that's why it's difficult for you to tell me what I just said. Because you're not listening.
Okay. So
this is not really an interview. This is really just a series of questions that's being thrown out within a certain time frame. Because an interview, a person is listening to what you're saying to possibly determine what would be the most appropriate question to ask next.
Well, I felt like what I asked next was the next appropriate question. We talked about homosexuality, bisexuality.
No, you're not paying attention to the tempo. You're not paying attention to the tempo of the.
I told you he's rude.
Questions that you're asking and the responses that I'm giving. It's just question after question after question without actually establishing some type of a basis with the person you're talking to. Okay. That's a real interview.
So for me, you talked about, I asked you about homosexuality. You explained. I gathered what you said, and then I asked you about how
you didn't gather what I said because you could barely tell me what I said when I asked you. You could barely tell me. You try to recall key words or key points that I said, but the actual concept you did not digest.
Okay. Well, I guess I just don't understand fully everything.
Well, you can't fully understand if you're not listening.
I am listening. I'm doing both. That's what
I'm saying. You're not listening.
You want to interview.
If you have to be able to admit that you're not listening. You're just cycling through
I am listening. I heard what you said.
No, there's a difference between hearing and understanding. You heard words coming out of my mouth. You captured some of the words, but the concept itself, you did not digest. Even now, you're cutting me off. You're cutting me off as I'm talking to you, which means that you're not listening. You're waiting for your turn to talk.
But isn't that what you would prefer? A person wait for their turn to talk?
No, if this is going to be an interview, there has to be some type of a listening ability present, but it's not. And I noticed that from the beginning.
Okay.
You don't even, you see what I'm saying? Like you really don't even remember anything I said, but that's fine because this is more about your subconscious mind than it is your conscious mind, because your conscious mind only regulates 5% of your reality.
Well, I'm an interviewer, okay? So you are living in Carbonation, right? And you have been taught how to respond, how to listen, how to do all those things for 4 years, okay? We have only been talking for this allotted amount of time. I'm not going to have the skills that you have. And I feel like a person who understands human nature, you understand that it takes time for a person to be on the same level.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
You have to be.
You want me to tell you what? I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't take time. I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't take time and time alone. Because there's people that have been making the same mistakes for 7, 8, 9 years. It doesn't take. It's not solely based on time. It's based on a decision to change. It is a decision that you need to make to actually change. But you really don't care about what I'm saying as much as you care about, asking certain questions that appease to the audience. Because you know that if you start asking some relevant questions, the general intellectual capacity of the people in the chat and the people you deal with. And you know that if you go above that, it could negatively impact your views, because these people can barely digest the concept that I'm saying. That's why this interview is kind of shallow, because you need to appease to the people, the night owls. The night owls generally are not people that you would see sitting next to psychologists or doctors or lawyers. These night owls are regular people.
Right. And so that's what I talked to you about, code switching.
But I'm not regular. But you knew that before I came on here, which means that maybe it's time for you to expand your audience and start appeasing to these people and get you some higher quality people, because you're not dealing with a regular person here.
Okay. So I mean, I had a lot of questions to ask. I don't want this to be a combative exchange. I definitely want to respect your intellect and your, divine knowledge of self and how you operate. However, over here, there are questions that the audience do want to know. So I've tried to sequence the questions in a respectable manner, but I know that there is only a certain amount of time that you do have, and the people do want to know certain things.
Let me ask you this.
If we're not able to ask those things,
let me ask you this, and this is a major lesson for you. What do the questions that are being asked say about the people?
They say that they've been looking at what you guys presented and they want to know more.
No, I'm just saying the general intellect of the people. Would you consider these people upper echelon people?
I feel like they are just on a different.
It's either yes or no. It's either yes or no.
We're on a different wave. I don't.
Do you feel like do you consider?
We're on different.
Listen, the things that they're asking, would you consider these people upper echelon people?
I think that we're on different frequencies.
It's either I'm trying to figure out what's the inability to answer the question. Like, do you need these people that bad that you can't answer the question? Like, do you consider these people upper echelon?
I just think that we are not on the same frequency. I believe that you've been taught a frequency to express your intellect through carbonation, and we are used to in Babylon a certain frequency. I don't think that means that they're below or belittle or less than. I just think that the way that we communicate and the things that we are interested in, you've already expressed to us how it's different. You already said how when you guys are grabbing attention, the things that people are interested in. So I'm kind of shocked that you're kind of elevated, like you're kind of annoyed by what they would want to know, because you already know what they're attracted to and what they're in tune with.
No, I'm saying that bringing me on would have been an opportunity for us to raise their frequency, not meet them with things that they're used to. That's what I had. I left that option available as a possibility of something that you would do, but that wasn't the case. You pretty much asked shallow questions that they could comprehend. This would have been a great opportunity to introduce melanin to melanated people who have no idea about it.
I have another video.
True, don't nobody want to hear about no melanating stuff. We're not on here to hear that, sir. This is this lady's interview. You can't come on there trying to teach the knowledge on her interview. I know True knew going on this interview why she wanted him there. And it was about Natureboy being in jail and why he was in jail. Don't nobody want to hear about no knowledge. Ain't no knowledge going on now. It was a bunch of BS, and that's why the SWAT team came in and got him. It was no knowledge going on when he was in that bathtub showing his privates and making them girls pull up their shirts. Boy, bye.
I have another video. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about melanin, and then you can explain this video.
Stop having light-skinned babies. Why? Because light-skinned babies are retarded. Hold up. Before we get in our feelings, let's objectively examine the word retarded. Retarded means underdeveloped. Why are light-skinned babies underdeveloped? Because they lack melanin. What is melanin and why is it so important? Melanin is an antenna that connects us to the universe. The more melanin you have, the greater your connection to source. The less melanin you have, the lower your connection to source. Instead of
put a Y in the chat if True is light-skinned. Please put a Y in the chat if True is light-skinned. And then we'll take it from there.
Toys, clothes, shoes, and money. It would be in your best interest to give your children the very substance that allows us to realize that we are.
Make sure to hit the like button as y'all come in. Thank you, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Our God.
Yo, I forgot about that video. Where did you find that at?
So being that you want to talk about melanin and you keep talking about melanin, in that video you said that light-skinned babies are retarded.
They are.
So explain to us why you feel like light-skinned babies are retarded. And when I look at you, and we already had this of what I see and versus my vision, I see somebody that's light-skinned. So explain to us the light-skinned babies are retarded, and
Yes.
melanin, and give us the science on that.
Okay, so of course, some of that was for shock value. I wanted to disturb people because I know that was a statement that nobody's ever heard before. You don't typically hear nobody saying.
No, you said that because Natureboy had you saying that. And you were scared of Natureboy when you got over there. You're scared of Natureboy while he's in jail. Natureboy taught you that. And anytime Natureboy want to flip-flop, not liking light skin or dark skin, you went with the program. Stop lying. You wasn't doing that for shock value. Natureboy had you up there saying that, looking like Homie the Clown. Stop lying.
When I say retarded, and when and you say what I feel about melanin, it's not what I feel about melanin, it's what's objectively true about melanin. The Most High Three God teaches us that melanin is an antenna. It is a super semiconductor, an antenna for consciousness. So the more melanin you have, not only does it mean that you get to run faster or jump higher, we're limiting ourselves to athleticism. When it comes to melanin, melanin actually makes you more intelligent because it allows you to feel more. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say that light-skinned babies are retarded, and when you look at the definition of retarded, retarded simply means underdeveloped. People have a negative connotation with what the word retarded means. It just means underdeveloped. And when we look at the archetype, the original man and woman did not look like me. The original man and woman didn't even look like you. The original man and woman was a blue, black, purple, dark man and woman. So to be lesser melanated than the original archetype would then, therefore, by definition, an objective observation would mean that you're retarded. Period.
So would that make you retarded?
Yes, in a sense. But see, here's the thing. Like I said, part of that was for shock value. The Most High Chief Three God has taken it a step further. What I was referring to was what is known as eumelanin. There's actually 3 different types of melanin. You have eumelanin, pheomelanin, and neural melanin. And pheomelanin being the actual type of eumelanin. Eumelanin is what colors our skin. It colors our irises in our eye, and it colors our hair. The thing about it is, you actually cannot judge somebody's character or intelligence off of their skin pigmentation alone. Why? Because of neuromelanin. Neuromelanin is in your nervous system. What this means is that you could be light-skinned, for example, myself, but have a higher capacity of neuromelanin, which cannot be seen by the visible eye. And somebody like yourself or somebody even darker could actually lack neuromelanin on the inside, actually making you a battery for ignorance rather than a battery for intelligence. So what actually determines somebody's character and their ability to grasp higher frequency concepts is all contained in their neuromelanin. And because most of us don't have access to a laboratory, you have to observe astrology in order to determine somebody's neurological makeup when it comes to neuromelanin. Why? Because the Hermetic principle of correspondence shows us that as above, so below. So what's going on in the cosmos is actually happening on a biological and molecular level. So when you look at somebody's astrological chart, you can look at their energies and determine what their capacity of neuromelanin is. It's amazing. Three God is the only person that has connected astrology to biology to melanin and to quantum physics.
So what does it say on your chart?
Oh, I have a lot of Pisces energy. I'm mostly water. And Three God teaches us that feeling is knowing. If you cannot feel, you cannot know. And this is easy to see. For example, right? I could give you 3 books, 300 videos about boxing. But until you get in the ring, will you actually know whether or not you can fight? For example, I give you 2 different fighters. I give you fighter A and fighter B. Fighter A has watched a lot of boxing videos. He's read a lot of boxing books, but he's never been in the ring. But boxer B, he can't read, but he's been in over 300 fights. Who would you say knows more about boxing?
The one that been in 300 fights.
Right. Why? Because he's felt it. He's experienced it. The actual acquisition of information alone is not enough to determine
Exactly, Olson.
your knowledgeability or your intelligence. It is your experience that in applying what you know that gives you the wisdom. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So being
internalize it, but also apply it for it to you to know.
Right. And so when it comes to feeling, what sign has the greatest capacity for feeling?
I probably would say myself Aquarius, but I'm not really into
Aquarius is an air sign. Air signs are more intellectual. They exist with the thoughts. They exist with the mind. They actually are detached from feelings. The signs that have the most capacity for feeling are the water signs. Water is emotion. You have Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. I myself have a lot of Pisces and a lot of Scorpio energy, which is a testament to my neural melanin that can't be seen on the surface. Whereas somebody who could be darker than me, as far as the pigment, could be full of air energy. They could be full of Gemini. They could be full of Aquarius. They could be full of Libra. They could be full of Sagittarius or Leo or Aries. The signs that feel the most are Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So even though you may be light-skinned externally, you're actually darker on the inside. So that video was
like one of those who say that who light skin, dark skin guy or something. What's the phrase I'm looking for, y'all?
It's about Drake. We talking about where Drake was like, I'm light skinned, but I'm still a dog nigga. One of them.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't think he meant that, but yeah, it's kind of like that. Like, for example, you ever seen a white dude that could he could dance, or he had swag, or he could play basketball? That's a testament. That's attributed to his neural melanin. He looks white on the outside. It just means that he has a lower pigment of eumelanin, but his actual nervous system, his heart, his brain is full of melanin. And you've seen dark-skinned black people that are whiter than white people. Can't dance, can't play basketball, and ain't got no swag. We're like, what's up with that? It's because they don't have neural melanin. Neural melanin is what allows you to be in tune with the universe. It allows you to dance. It allows you to move a certain way. It allows you to have a certain level of intelligence. So we can't sit up here and act like our people, quote unquote, is going to be determined by this alone, because it's not. Your people
you basically got to be a water sign or you're screwed or
no. No, I'm just saying that your capacity for feeling is going to be connected to how much water you have in your chart, because water is emotions.
So how much neural melanin do I have as an Aquarius?
Well, it's not going to be just contingent upon your sun sign alone. Now, that was a good question. Now you're engaged in the interview. You have to look at your moon. You have to look at your Mercury, your Venus, your Mars, your Jupiter, your Saturn, the aspects in your chart, your ascendant. There's a lot of different variables that go into determining what somebody is as far as astrology is concerned. So Aquarius is not enough information for me to go off of. I would have to look at your house placement. I would have to look at your moon. I would have to look at every placement in your chart, as well as the relationship between the two planets in your chart. That's what an aspect is. An aspect is when two planets form a certain relationship contingent upon the degrees or the proximity that they are in between each other.
Okay. So I see that astrology is very big in carbonation, melanin and neural melanin.
No, it's not. BS is now. He does not teach no knowledge, ma'am, anymore. He teaches them how to slap each other. He slaps the men when they give him a strawberry and he wanted a pineapple. So no, don't listen to the BS that
is very big. What is another principle that's very big that you would like to enlighten us on?
This should have been the whole interview.
No,
let's go.
You want to know the message well. The whole interview
ain't matter. And the reason I say that is because I don't matter. Like my personal.
You do matter.
No, I'm saying my character that I'm playing, my character, this guy right here, He don't really matter that much.
Right now?
Yes, this is a character. This is a character. The grand scheme of what I am is the observer watching all of this unfold. I'm not this character. This is just a character that I'm playing. This is a role in the movie. He doesn't matter. He doesn't really matter. What matters is the knowledge and information that, if applied, would actually bring heaven upon the earth. That is what the kingdom of heaven is. It's the mind of God. And that's what we're trying to deliver. So when it comes to other sciences that we talk about, in addition to astrology and melanin, you have biology. Biology allows us to understand, for example, what are we made of? What am I made of? What are you made of? No,
ever give me a strawberry unless I ask
without melanin, without considering melanin, just from a biological stance, what would you say you're made of? What
matter? I don't know.
Cells. Yeah, cells, right? Cells. You're not one human being. You're not one vessel. If we were to zoom into your body with a microscope right now, we'd see a community of trillions of cells. Do you understand? You're made of trillions of cells that have individual functions within each of them. And so what that means, right, is that because we're made of a collection of cells, we ourselves are cells, because we can't be separate from what we're made of. So why is this important? If you study the behavior of a cell, you're simultaneously studying the behavior of a human being. So what determines a cell's behavior? What determines the cell's behavior in your body? What are they regulated by? What are they being controlled by?
Atoms?
No, they're being controlled by information. They're being controlled by information. You are the governing force of all of your cells. So whatever you think, whatever information you have, that's what your cells are going to respond to. The environment you're around, what you eat, the music you listen to, the images you see, what you put on your skin, your cells are being affected directly by you and what you predispose them to. So this is important, because when we zoom out of our body, we keep zooming, and we see that upon the planet, we are actually acting as cells in the same fashion that the cells in our body act. So we are cells upon a cell. The earth is actually a cell itself as well. Now, what is this? What is the significance of knowing that we are cells inside of our own body? The significance is, what is the only cell that's acting against its own body? Imagine all the creatures on the planet are cells. Tigers, lions, bears, all of them are cells. They're different types of cells because they're all made of cells as well. So what is the only cell on this cell that's acting against our body?
Gravity? I don't know.
Humanity. Humanity is the only cell on this body, in this body, that's doing things against the body, which would make them what? What type of cell goes against your body? What do you call that cell? What does it become?
The cell that goes against my body?
Yeah, if we were to zoom into your body and there was a cell destroying your body right now, what would you call that cell?
Disease, cancer, I don't know.
There you go, cancer. Cancer cells are cells that have become mutated or modified to not realize that they're a part of the very thing that they're now destroying. Cancer cells are so stupid that they actually destroy the host that's feeding them. So humanity, since we're displaying that same behavior, we are also cancer cells, because as above, so below, the law of correspondence. So how do we heal the cancer cells? Cancer cells actually have two choices from vitamin D, from the sun. Steroid hormone D is actually not a vitamin. Cancer cells have two choices. The body will instruct the cancer cell to do one of two things: heal itself or self-destruct. That is what's going to happen to humanity. Humanity is going to be given a choice, and that choice has already been issued now. Either you can heal with divine knowledge of self given to us by the Most High Chief 3 God, or you can self-destruct.
All right. So being about healing, are you guys are you with the knowledge of self? Are you able to heal yourself?
Yes. Yes. The Most High Chief 3 God teaches us that healing comes through a change in perspective, because all healing must stem from the mind, because all suffering stems from the mind. That's why I don't agree with the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry is an industry that is built upon profit. They don't care about your health and well-being. They address the symptoms. They aid in your symptoms, but they never address the root cause of why you're sick in the first place. Because if they did that, they wouldn't make any money. So the pharmaceutical industry is only going to address the issues that's on the surface, but never address the source. And the Most High Chief Three God teaches us that all disease is an extension of stress that occurs in the mind. And all stress has to come from an unhealthy thought pattern. Because if you have an unhealthy mind, you have an unhealthy body. If you have a healthy mind, you have a healthy body. So let's address the source, people. We need to change our mind in order to be healthy again.
Okay, so I have a question, and I'm not trolling, just I really want to learn.
Go ahead.
So, when I was looking at a proceeding that was about Three God, they mentioned that he had his like
tooth, the tooth thing. Yes,
yeah,
the tooth thing.
they said his tooth was decaying,
Yes.
that he was in severe pain. So
Yes.
if you guys are able to heal yourself, would that be a reflection that he's stressing? Because you said that if you
Yes.
have if you have things like that, that's stress. So is he stressing?
Yes. In some form.
Exactly. Now he's interviewing her. Okay.
That has to be the case, because the body is always going to be a manifestation of the mind. And if you allow certain things to get to a certain point, you will need some form of aid, whether it be a herb or some type of professional. But that does not take away from addressing the source. You still have to address the source in order for that ailment to not persist. It's one thing to assist in addressing the source. It's another thing, like the pharmaceutical industry does, is not even acknowledge the source whatsoever.
Okay. So once he begins to get back focused and stop stressing, will his tooth then heal without medicine or without medical attention?
Well, at this point, because it's extended.
He needs medicine because he needed medicine. They had to cut his gum open, drain the pus and the STD that we found out that was also in that gum when his face swelled out. Remember that time? Put a Y in the chat, guys. And then he found out Malia had all these STDs, and the sister exposed that she told Natureboy that Malia had STDs, and he said, "Oh, that's probably why. That explains why his face was so swollen, because he had the STD in his infected tooth, and it got worse because of the STD, and that's why his face swelled up. He had to go to the hospital, get the gum cut open, drained, and then he had to take medicine. So stop the press."
To such a degree, he will need assistance as far as any herbs or some type of medical professional, because of how long it's went. But the whole process in itself, in order to prevent it from happening again, it will have to be addressed mentally. It's not like you would just keep addressing the ailment and not address the source of it and expect it to go away.
So were the herbs not available before he went into his situation now? Because I recall on video he complained about it before.
I don't think he never went and just got it checked out, because we had, do you know how much stuff we had going on, how many people was around us? I don't think you understand, like, when it comes to dealing with people, you take on their issues because they're in your environment. This is why the Most High Chief God teaches us that the highest diet on the planet is actually peopletarianism. Because it doesn't matter if you're eating holistic vegan, it doesn't matter if you're a pescatarian. If you go around toxic people, it doesn't matter what you eat. Those people will kill you faster than the food you're putting in your mouth. So we literally are now cleaning up our environment to a level of clarity that we haven't experienced in years. And I promise you that these symptoms will no longer persist, because the people are no longer here to cause and promote that unnecessary stress that we were experiencing.
Okay, so can you talk?
Right, he hasn't answered not one one question to what she asked him. Not one. He made that whole interview about himself and the knowledge.
To us about the people that have left.
Yeah, there's a common denominator. See, I like to address morality and principality and common denominators and root causes of things so that we don't have to deal with the semantics of who did this and who did that. The core element of what happened, what you watched as far as people leaving, is one of two things. Pressure was applied. And once pressure is applied, it reveals what you actually have. You can do that with metals. If you think that your chain is fake, all you got to do is apply certain pressure. If you think that your diamonds are fake, apply a certain pressure, and you'll know from that point, because the real will withstand the pressure, and the fake will do what? It will crack. It will not live up to the standards. So, and also in addition to that, you have to understand that a lot of people were afraid of applying the knowledge to their life. So they became codependent on Chief doing it for them. So what this situation has afforded is for people to begin to apply the knowledge that they know to their own life without the assistance and direct instruction of Chief. So this is a testament to people to see if they really believe in the knowledge, because if they don't, they'll fall off.
So who is the real who got pressure applied and is still there with you under carbonation?
Well, carbonation is not a location. I need people to understand that. It's not a location.
Is tribe or family?
It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that, because you have denominations of the Nation of Islam spread across the United States. You have Muslims are not packed into one house. They're international. They're everywhere because they're united underneath a certain thought frequency.
So even the people who have left are still with you.
Leaving means to leave the thought frequency, because no matter where you go, there you are. The knowledge can be applied no matter where you are. You don't leave carbonation because it's a thought frequency until you stop applying the knowledge to your life. Because we've been separated before. Some of us have been in Philly, some of us have been in Atlanta, some of us have been in Puerto Rico, but it is the knowledge that connects us and keeps us.
Who's still on the same frequency? Can you answer that?
Well, only time will tell.
Who from the data that you have currently?
Only time will tell, because I literally thought some of these people were our family until the situation came up, which revealed that that wasn't the case.
So who do you still think is family?
I don't know. I don't know at this point. Well, there's some things that have happened behind the scenes. Well, you know, with the whole loyal situation, you know about that, right? You know about the whole loyal situation. So that was one of the things that threw me for a loop to make me realize that I don't really know who I'm dealing with until certain pressures are applied. You don't know who you're dealing with.
For the people who are tuning in, not everybody probably knows about the loyal situation. So can you explain to them about it if they probably don't know?
Yeah, so just briefly, Loyal was the younger Indian guy that you may have seen in certain videos. He's came and left multiple times, but this last time he was actually acting as an assistant on behalf of Chief. He was making phone calls, he was networking, he was handling certain business affairs, dealing with the social media page, doing technological work, all types of things. And it seemed as if he was on board. It seemed as like he really wanted to be here, and he was serious about getting Chief out of jail. All of a sudden, he decides to steal 3 of our iPhones, stole $1,700 from us, and stole 2 hard drives, and 2 expensive hard drives as well. And the day before, well, actually not even the day before, earlier that day, he was singing a completely different tune. And all of a sudden, either a light switched, more than likely not, but there was a hidden intent that was finally revealed in that moment. So I don't know exactly who's on the frequency or not. Like I said, time will tell.
Well, we can tell that he wasn't on the frequency if he's on the drive.
No, he wasn't. He definitely wasn't.
Okay. So there was also, and I guess this is an allegation, but there also was an allegation that Solar has stole money from you guys as well. Is that true, or is he on the frequency?
I don't actually know if he did or not. I don't actually know if he did or not. That's hearsay. I don't know if he did or not.
Oh, okay. Is he still on the frequency to your knowledge?
Only time will tell, because people have left the frequency and they've come back, because it's never too late to get on the righteous path. It's never too late to begin to apply the knowledge to your life. Like, there's people who have quit smoking for 6 months and they started back smoking, and then they started and they quit again. Or there's people that try to diet and they failed and they got back up and then they finally got it together. So it's only time will be able to tell. Some people, they leave the frequency and they never come back. You never hear nothing from them again. But I will say this.
So did he leave the frequency for now and he may potentially come back? Or is he possibly still on the frequency?
I don't know, because I don't monitor other people's lives to the degree that people do. People pay attention more to them than I do. I don't have time to focus on them because I started this journey by myself and I have to stay on this journey at my own will. So I literally, the things that people say, I don't be knowing they going on. I literally don't know what 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗧 I don't know, because I don't know, because I don't have time to focus on it, because I need to make sure that I'm focused on me, because me is the only person that I'm gonna be held accountable for.
Okay, so being that they are not in your current frequency, are the girls still with you?
Does it matter?
It does. To the people, they want to know. The last video you said that
they seen them on Instagram. They're still on the frequency.
Are they still with you? Together with you?
They're not together with me.
Who can you tell us who is together with you?
I'll let you speculate.
Well, we don't want to speculate.
Sorry. Just like I'm sure y'all want to know where my son is at too, don't you?
That's another question that they would like to know.
Can't tell you, buddy. Can't tell you.
So he's not there?
Speculate. Who knows?
Leave it to the people to speculate if he's there or not there?
Who knows? I mean, what type of person would reveal the location of their child to strangers? I don't know what your intent. I don't know what your intent. I'm just saying. I don't know what your intent is. People are wild. People are crazy. These people don't like.
I don't want you to tell us the location. I don't want you to tell us the city. I don't want you to tell us the state. People want to know, is he there or is he not there?
I speculate. Who knows?
So the speculation around town is that he's not there.
Hey, let them speculate. People gonna believe what they want to hear anyway.
But we rather get the firsthand information from you. That's your son. I rather not speculate. We have all of these realities and we have all of these things. I would like to hear firsthand from you rather. I don't want to speculate.
Man, I can't tell you that.
Okay. So in a video that you did yesterday on Bigo, you were, I think, are you still on 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 while you were live?
You seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she pulled up on us, boy. She didn't want nothing though. She was just being it felt like I was a celebrity, which I am, and she was a fan that just wanted to get close to somebody that she's been watching. So she didn't mean no harm. I just was trying to explain to her that that's not a good habit to practice, especially in Georgia, because you can get your head blown off for pulling up on somebody's property unannounced. It's like, that's like protecting your domain. And she needs to know that. I wouldn't do nothing like that because I'm not gonna shoot nobody. I don't want to hurt nobody. I'm just saying that if she displays that behavior pattern with the wrong people, that it could end up bad for her. And that's the only thing I wanted her to know.
So the video, because I seen it and she pulled up and you said that she was asking if you guys needed help. That was at the 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪
What you CIA FBI or something?
No, I'm just saying that I'm asking a question.
Speculate.
So you guys didn't have to get out the house.
Speculate. That's so irrelevant. In the grand scheme of all the knowledge that's available in life, you want to know where I'm at so bad. That's irrelevant. In the grand scheme.
So it must have been, because the only location that all of us knew was 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪�ึthat you're still at the house. We can move on.
Never know.
So you guys talked about a B6 diet. Are you still on the B6 diet?
In a way, yeah, because we primarily that is
Yeah, so it's over, and she started talking about the be sick diet. That's all it is the be sick diet. It's not the be sick diet. Well, be sick diet. It's not the be sick diet because it's nothing about that diet gonna heal you. Listen, I'm finishing up my cabbage because I made me another batch. My husband wants some more cabbage. I'm actually done with it, but I'm about to shut my cabbage off and handle my business around my house. Please leave a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the second channel and make sure the notification bell's on with the option all. So when I go live on this video on this channel, you will get the notification. So subscribe to the channel and also hit the like button. Love y'all. I might come on later on with a live. I don't know. Stay blessed. Mwah. I'm out.